Right, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to talk about in this video. I think my headline was, what would I want to see in Clickteam that's not currently there? And I feel this is going to be maybe a minute or two long, but I'm going to try and drag it out. Who knows? So, what do I like about Clickteam? I like the fact it's really quick and simple to do. You open it up, you can get going straight away. There's no faffing about, there's no sitting around, you're just working straight away. Love that so much. The biggest thing, actually, weirdly, okay, so I've said on Monday's video, I have no idea. I said on Monday's video that I use Clickteam for a website I'm doing at the moment. It's a really simple website, needed a quick animation, so much quicker with Clickteam. Did it all in 2 hours, the whole lot, brilliant. And essentially, I had a dragon who had flame coming out of his mouth and burnt a marshmallow, right? That simple. And then some sounds like, ooh, like that. Okay, it's a kid's website. Yeah, what can I say? One thing that came up that I forgot Clickteam doesn't do, and it really irritated me, perhaps. Clickteam works with is it scalar stuff, right? It works with bitmaps. It works with pixels, and it unashamedly works with pixels. There are some extensions that are the exception to the rule, but anyway, ignoring those, it doesn't work with anything else. Now you might be thinking, well, what else is there? There's pixels or nothing. No, on websites, it's really important to keep the code really simple. So on websites, generally for graphics, you use these things called vectors. So instead of drawing a jaggy line from A to B, right, and with each of the pixels and maybe some alias, so there's some blah blah blah, which is really kind of a lot of space, megabytes or whatever. With a vector, you just say, right, draw a line from here to here, and it draws it for them. Now, in code, that is incredibly short, and you can optimize it even more and make it incredibly small compared to a bitmap or a PNG or a JPEG, which is huge because it's storing all the individual pixels. And so Clickteam doesn't allow you to use vectors for images. So when I had this dragon, I had to change it from a vector, because I only work with vectors because they're quick for websites. You might be thinking, why does it need to be quick? Like everything's quick these days. Like, why does it need to be small? Sorry, because everything's quick. You can download quick. Well, some of my users might be having using a mobile phone in a really rubbish area where it takes a while to open a web page. So it's really important to make the file size as small as possible so they can get it open quickly. Otherwise, they'll just be, oh, this is a rubbish website because it doesn't load properly or whatever. And also, servers cost an awful lot of money. If you've never worked with servers, you're not going to know this, but like my website has about, I don't know, 500,000 users a year or something like that. And that costs an absolute fortune. It costs me more for the server than a lot. In fact, I think it's the most expensive thing in the business of everything, of staff, of everything else. It is the most expensive thing in the business. I don't have any full-time staff, but subcontractors I work with or whatever, that servers are the most expensive. So if you reduce it by 10%, then that's 10% less server strain, and that's 10% less I have to pay AWS or whoever else for their use of their servers, right? So you want to keep it really trim. Clickteam doesn't let you do that. It's like, no, it's full fat. It's whatever. It's what it is. So having vectors would be amazing. I'm so rambly. Why am I so rambly? Anyway, okay. So the next thing that I think Clickteam should have, in fact, it's something it shouldn't have. And I said this yesterday. Ignore 3D. Please ignore it unless you can do it really good. Something I keep thinking about is the backgrounds in Metroid Dread, or Ori in the Singing Forest, whatever that's called, or 2D games that have these 3D backgrounds. If Clickteam had an engine to make really nice 3D backgrounds, I don't know whether Firefly does it, but if the Fusion 3 or the next iteration of Fusion has a way of just like, look, you're not going to make the next Doom game or whatever, but you can add 3D elements to your 2D game on this 3D layer. You can have a 3D layer at the background, and you can just experiment with it, and we'll make it really easy for you, and you can use your mouse. It reminds me of Dreams on the PlayStation VR. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR, where you can actually mold the stuff out with the Move controllers, and it's really simple to do. If Clickteam had a way of doing that really simply, and not in VR, please don't include VR. Like, VR is definitely on its way out. Have you seen PSVR 2 numbers? But anyway, if they had some way of just doing it really simple, just mold it out with your mouse cursor and make a 3D and add some shaders that you've got with Clickteam, and maybe they have a shader store that you can buy more or whatever. That would be amazing. And actually, on assets, Clickteam, I feel, are missing a massive trick of selling assets. It's what Adobe does. It's what a lot of companies, I say a lot of companies when I can't remember any others, but I know Adobe has it. It's like, well, look, we've given you this platform. You can use your own stuff. Don't worry, you can still draw it, But, if you want to pay us some money and, give us some commission, and we'll try 20% goes to us, 80% to the creator, whatever, that would be incredible. Now, the reason that wouldn't work is the community is not big enough yet. And that's going to be number 4, is we need to build the community. We need a heck of a lot more people in. And you might be thinking, well, hang on, we're a niche product. No, we're not. If you ask any parent with a child about Roblox, which is exactly the same as Clickteam and should have been run by Clickteam, although I would say Roblox is incredibly predatory and incredibly nasty piece of software, and I would advise you as a parent to really look into whether your child should be doing Roblox because of a myriad of other issues. But one thing it has done right is it's done Clickteam for the mass market. You can go into any shop and buy Roblox vouchers, at least here in the UK. And that's what Clickteam needs to do. It needs to grow substantially. And it grows substantially, like I said in the last video, by charging a subscription and making it a much more bigger proposition. I think the next... what else would I like Clickteam to do? I suppose you could do some web apps. You could have better integration with iPhone, Android. You could have a way of testing it on iOS without having to build it first. You have a Clickteam app that you download on iOS and Android, and it lets you test your games. Although I'm not sure whether Apple and Android allow you to create to have something that allows you to circumnavigate the App Store. But anyway, you could do it on a website. You could do it in HTML5, whatever. What else? I'm trying to think. What else would Clickteam be much better if I had X? I'd like to see... Okay, so extensions used to be awful. Extensions were awful. You had to go and find them on a website. You had to pray that A, they work with your current version, B, that the person who made it still maintains it, C, that it's not full of viruses, whatever. Like, all this list of stuff you had to go through. The exporter manager is just incredible. You literally open it, download the extension, and I think you forget, if you're using Clickteam, which I'm sure you are, you forget how tedious that was before. I've just recently got a new computer, and I've been downloading all the new all the exporters I need, like string parser, etc. And it took me no time at all to get them all there. And when a pop-up comes up, like, oh, it needs this exporter, you just literally open it up, right, let's get that exporter done. If they can have that for other things in their program, that kind of simplicity where just everything's in the app, that would be the way forward. I can't think of a single thing. We talked about assets before. That would be good if it did that with assets. Oh, here's some assets you might want to buy, or here's some free ones, whatever. I don't know. I like the fact that Clickteam have teamed up with Five Nights at Freddy's creators, and are driving that to sort of open up a publishing arm for Clickteam. They helped move that to the Switch, and again, no research, so if I'm wrong, let me know, but I believe that they helped move that to the Switch and PlayStation and Xbox and stuff. It would be amazing if they expanded that as well, if there was a real push to show up the creators like Five Nights at Freddy's, that there's a path from amateur to professional, using their software, and I think they are doing a good job with that on their website. They show off all the time of creators that have made amazing things and stuff, and actually they keep it up to date, which is my red flag. When Clickteam's homepage isn't kept up to date, that's the kind of time to go, oh, hang on, is this a bad sign? Oh, there goes my boiler. This is the one problem with working in your garage when you have a boiler there. I normally switch it off first before I start filming, but I thought I'd be quick. But I think I'm a lot more rambly than I remember. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. If you can think of anything else, or if you can still hear me, but if you can think of anything else that you would like to see in Clickteam Fusion, the next version, let me know. I think my list has been pretty pathetic, to be honest, but that's the point of giving yourself an hour to film a week's worth of videos with no research and just you and the camera. But anyway, I will see you for tomorrow's video. See you then.